We spent weeks, months, hassling the poor guy upstairs, telling him to get his leak sorted out and whatever. And we found out it wasn't him. Worktop next week, and we'll have a kitchen. I know that one is the earth. I know that one is blue. And then we've got brown, brown and brown. I need some help. It's nearly finished.
My name is Andy, the Brit in Hungary, and I've lived here for about 8 years. I'm not a builder, I'm a teacher and a former professional pilot. DIY is just something I've done for fun until now. But now I'm taking the challenge of my life. Me and my wife have bought a decrepit, mouldy flat in the centre of Budapest, and this is the story of me turning it into not one, but 2 luxury flats.
Another Thursday morning, back here again already. God, the weeks are flying by. It's almost November. Quite a straightforward series of tasks for this visit, hopefully. So task number 1, fit this radiator. Just there. Task 2, fit that towel radiator. Just there. Task 3, get the kitchen floor tiles finished and get rid of this junk. And task 4, which may turn out to be a bit of a bonus task, but task 4 is install this lot. Just there. Yeah, so there's all those little jobs ticked off, and I'm getting cracking on the kitchen now. This, like most things, I've sort of custom made this pipe and drain for the kitchen sink and the dishwasher, etc. Yep, and then I'm just going to start putting the cabinets in place. I've also made a bit of a start rebuilding the mouldy wall of soggy doom. Yes. More on that later. And it's actually dry. It is dry now, or getting dry, I should say. And the saga has got even more interesting, believe it or not. Good. So that's that. So we can put the cupboards in place now. Yes. Okay, so I've rebuilt this, but I've kind of re-engineered it as well. So yeah, like I said, the leak has now stopped, but there's several years worth of water to dry out from there. What I've done, well, I'm going to fit like a vent here, just to help everything sort of stay aired, and it's also, you know, for the central heating boiler. But what I've done is I've completely isolated the plasterboard from the wall. Behind the plasterboard is some polystyrene all the way around this patch that was wet. So even if it does start to leak or some of the moisture comes back through, it can't actually reach the plasterboard and the plaster. That's the plan. So yeah, that's all kind of waterproofed. And now I'm going to plaster it. Nice! All back together again. Very happy with that. Plaster's still a bit wet. I was going to paint that today, but I've got to go home in a bit. But that'll wait for next time. Good. No harm done. Had a bit of a tidy up sort of down here on the tiles. Getting all this lot ready. I was going to do the worktop and everything, but I've run out of time. I'll do it at home. But next time the sink can go in. And I've got a bit of a surprise in the car. Those 2 spaces there aren't going to be quite so empty in a few minutes. Awesome. Right, so here's the kitchen stuff. The only trouble is 2 of us put it in here and there's only 1 to take it out. Could be interesting. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Worktop next week. And we'll have a kitchen. Finished kitchen. Bloody marvellous. Even looks nice from outside now. Yay. Other stuff, well, yeah, that remember that big hole in the wall? There's still a hole in the wall, but now I've made it a little bit smaller, a bit more manageable. That was really annoying me. So yeah, that's ready to paint as well. I've plastered that. Yeah, I've made a start on reinforcing the stairs. So the first 4 stairs there are now strong enough to take the weight of a human being. Yeah, the floor's finished. The floor was about a metre away from being finished last time. That's done now. We've got a nice TV, or I should say a TV cabinet. But the best news of all, look at this beauty. Brilliant. So a bit of luxury. I'm just building a bit of a platform. The box is the lamp. Before I go today, I'd like to get the new lamp on. Yeah, and in here I've got the mirror, got the light connected, and the plug socket works as well. Woo! So yes, we're getting there. And like I say, floor is all ready, just a bit of grouting. Top performance. Yeah, getting that same kind of ground rush feeling we got next door when we got to this stage. We're perhaps only like 2 visits away from having the place completely finished now. Yeah, the big tick for me this visit has been to get rid of all the dusty work, you know, all the stuff with the saw and the flex and everything. And there shouldn't be any more mess now. It's just cosmetic stuff, so we can try and keep the place cleaner or get it cleaner. Yeah, you go around and clean, and the dust just kind of flies up in the air and then lands again. And it takes you sort of like cleaning it a few times before you actually get rid of everything. But yeah, it's getting better. It's getting much, much better. Yeah, there's a job I'm quite looking forward to. I've got to do at home when I get back. I've got to make like a split zone valve system for the 2 flats, so the 2 flats can run independently, the heating off one boiler. I'm quite looking forward to that. That'll be quite a nice project. I've got all the bits. I just need a morning or an afternoon just to put it all together. Because yeah, all this is all sort of buttoned up, sealed up now. There's no way we're going to get back in here again. Well, not easily anyway. So, what's left, you ask? Not a lot. There's, like I say, there's some grouting to do. Connect up the heating, get the heating fired up. That's the next sort of big milestone, really. But apart from that, it's just painting and just doing little bits of trim, you know, for the corners and stuff like that. So yes, yeah, it's very, very pleasing actually. So I can go home. I'm feeling very happy. Yeah, so I said there was a bit of a twist to this. Well, we spent weeks, months hassling the poor guy upstairs, telling him to get his leak sorted out and whatever. And we found out it wasn't him. It was actually the floor above. So the leak was actually coming from not upstairs, but 2 floors above. Trial and error, basically. We just tried all the flats and to see which one produced the leak, and we found it. And it's from a broken waste pipe for a washing machine, and I think it's broken under the floor somewhere between the main sewer stack, which is just behind me, and the washing machine. And for some reason, it skipped the floor above and decided to come into ours instead. But anyway, it's all fixed now. And everything's rebuilt. Just you know, a day or two's extra work that I could have really done without, but it's all good, all good. And as with previous trips, I've got a box full of tools to take home. Well, loads of stuff actually. So yeah, there's a few bags of rubbish, but mainly it's stuff that I might need for the next project. So we've got, you know, various tiles and plaster, glue, yeah, so save that for the next job. Oof. Right, quick tidy up. Ooh, in here as well actually, oops. And then we can get out of here. It's lovely. It's nearly effing finished. Greetings. Back home, Sunday. And just because I'm at home, it doesn't mean that I've stopped thinking about the flat. In fact, I can't stop thinking about it. Oh. So a couple of things to do. The first thing is cut out the worktop, the sink in the hob. I'll do that later. But the first job is to do with the central heating. So this is our heating system at home. So there's, well, it's underfloor heating. And we've got like upstairs and downstairs. And we can switch one off and one on, both off. Using these things, zone valves. And I've bought 2 of these. And I want to replicate exactly the same thing in the flat. If you remember, we've got 1 boiler and we've got 2 apartments. And I want to run both off one. So it means that we've got to be able to independently control both at the same time. And that's what these things do. So as usual, I could have got someone to do this for me, but what's the fun in that? So yeah, I've got my own 2 zone valves with the wiring to do as well, which is, oh my god, which is a nightmare for a colourblind person. But Kitty can help me with that. And then we've got all the gear to do it. So there's these bits. They go into the compression fittings on the end of the valves, and then these go in the end there. And then some of the PEX pipe for the central heating connects into the end of that one. And I've got 4 of those to make. I've already done 2. I've got some copper pipe, which is hideously expensive, by the way. I nearly died when I bought that. So yeah, I've got to cut just a couple of 10 centimetre lengths off and then solder them into there, and I can start putting the whole thing together. I've been really looking forward to this, actually. Slightly more enjoyable than painting and plastering. Right, I'm just going to go and discuss with my best mate, co-pilot, and work out this wiring. And have a cup of tea, actually. So just to show you what we're up against here, so I know that one is the earth. I know that one is blue. And then we've got brown, brown and brown. I need some help. Okay, so we got it, I think. So the blue is neutral, so that's common, that goes to the mains. That's an earth, obviously, that's common. That was the brown one, I think. That's the one, when you turn the thermostat on, it goes click, and it opens the circuit, and that provides voltage to the motors in the pumps, which opens and closes them. Their default position is off, so when there's no juice, they're closed. So as soon as you turn the thermostat on, put electricity through there, they'll open. And these ones, to start the pump on the boiler, normally the thermostat is just bridged across those 2 wires. But what there is in the back of the pump, there's a relay. So as soon as the pump opens, the circuit is made in those wires, which goes back to the boiler and tells the boiler to start heating and to start the pump. Yeah, because this is like 240 volts, and these is I think that's like 12 volts or something. So obviously you can't put 240 volts down there. But we'll wire it up and give it a bash. Okay, so it works. and I didn't electrocute myself or blow anything up, actually, which is always a bonus. So you've got to imagine, like, this is the main pipe coming from the boiler, like hot water, goes through a T-piece and then goes into these. At the minute, they're both open. The power is on. So you've got some water going into, say, flat 1, the radiators, and then some water going into flat 2. What happens is if I turn the thermostat off, at the minute they're both wired together, so they both work together, but they can both work independently. So if I just remove the power, that's it, the valves are closed, so the heating is now shut off. So the whole point is not to have both on or both off, because you wouldn't need these if that was the case. The idea is to be able to control one flat or the other flat independently. So at the minute, this one is off, so there's no hot water going into this flat. This one is on, hot water going into this flat. The person in this flat decides it's too hot, turns the thermostat, and that's it. Both the valves close, and those other 2 wires, they send a signal to the boiler to stop heating and to stop pumping. It's fantastic. Yes, so feeling very, very pleased with myself. Okay, so Wednesday afternoon, I'm just packing the car up, getting ready to go to Budapest. Got the mystery gadget, got the worktop with the sink cut out, but I forgot the measurements for the hob. But I'll do that when I get to Budapest with a jigsaw probably, and some random rubbish to get rid of. So I've got to head back to the school. I've got a couple more lessons, and then hopefully I can get out of here at about 7 o'clock, get to Budapest about 9-ish, and I'm ready to go first thing tomorrow morning, hopefully, on what could be the penultimate visit. Who knows? Anyway, we will see you next time.